President Trump now openly pushing for new Fed appointees who favor rate cuts and calling on Lisa Cook to resign. Is this the moment where central banks risk kind of losing credibility and gold becomes the trust anchor?
Well, that's why I think we see so many central banks actually shifting towards gold, shifting out of U.S. Treasuries and into gold itself. And I think it's just a growing momentum within the space to try and back away from the reliance on the U.S. dollar as the main reference currency, and gold is now climbing as a reference currency within the central banks. And so this trend is going to continue to grow. Sometimes it doesn't look like it, but there's a lot of smart minds behind these central banks. A lot of thought goes into the decisions that they make, and just the overall trend worldwide from central banks and sovereign funds to shift into gold as a store of security. That has not lost momentum at all, and I think that's enough support to bring in the institutional and the retail investors themselves. I think that has been one of the leading factors. This real push in gold did start with central bank purchases out of the eastern part of this world. And it's really sort of gained momentum all the way through here now into what I would call the traditional West, so to speak. And so I don't see that momentum slowing down at all.
Do tariffs ultimately help precious metals by fueling inflation and uncertainty, even if they raise costs for miners?
There's no doubt it's inflationary, and then you just can't argue with the math. It's simple math that any type of fees or taxes driving that local, driving towards deglobalization will drive costs up. To be honest, I think it's a positive on an overall basis, because I do think it makes a lot of countries and a lot of regions that are on the world sit back and look within themselves as to say, we need to be able to stand on our own 2 feet, and that's something that I do think is needed. For so long now, we've seen Europe not very supportive of the mining industry, but they're happy to consume all the products of the mining industry as long as it's mined somewhere else. We're starting to see a real trend with this deglobalization towards, maybe we need to find a way to produce that product ourselves, and seeing some broader support for the mining industry. So I think overall it's going to be a net positive.